Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. This is going to be a video of me breaking down my rendering process. As I mentioned in the previous video, I'm going to be using this piece that you see on the screen over here as an example, and I hope that I'm able to give you guys just a little bit of clarity as to how my rendering process looks like. I'm in no means a professional, but I felt like it'll be good to be able to just share the things that I've learned throughout this journey of digital art, which is barely a year old. And so I hope that you enjoy and learn something new. If you have any questions or need any clarifications on anything in my process, whether it's picking the colors or stuff like that, I'll be definitely happy to answer, or even make a more in-depth video real time of me rendering if that's something that you'd like. As for now, I hope that you enjoy the rest of the video and let me know your thoughts in the comments as usual, and I'll see you at the end. Okay, so I like to break my rendering process into 6 main steps that I follow for almost everything that I do. So 6 steps: sketch and cleanup, base colors, shadow, darker shadows, light and highlights, and final details. As mentioned previously, I'm going to use my Neytiri piece from Avatar as an example. So the first step is obviously sketch. So when I mean sketch and cleanup, this is how all my sketches look like. So the first step of the process is the sketch, getting the sketch done and cleaned up to a point at which I like it. And the most important thing for me when making the sketch is the anatomical correctness of it. As much rendering as you do, it will never change how good or bad your anatomy is. So I try to get it as anatomically correct as I can before I move on to the painting stage. So the next thing is base colors. So the base colors are basically, well, as it says, the base colors. So for me, it's the base color. I like to separate the base colors into different layers, and this is just the base that I chose for her skin. The reason why I made it a darker blue than it's supposed to be is because we're going to add light on top. And then I did the base color for the hair, the lips, and the jewelry, and a little bit of the makeup. And then I moved on and did the markings. Her markings, again, it still looks pretty bland, but this is still part of the base color stage, and that is it really. So that's base colors. Next is shadow. Now this is a place that will make or break a painting. So this is what the main shadow looks like, and instantly it changes the feel of the painting. The painting looks more real, in my opinion. And from there, with this one, there was supposed to be darker shadows, but then I merged the layers together. Shadows are supposed to be here, like these shadows over here are much darker than, let's say, the shadow on the cheek, because that's where some of the light is coming from. And this shadow in the hair is much darker than this shadow over here, because again, this is where our light is coming from. And then there's something I'll talk about when we get to highlights that will influence this piece a lot, but you get the idea. The next thing is highlights. But to give you a better idea of what the highlights look like, before I moved into the highlight stage, I made sure to change the background color. So the background color, I put this as one of the background colors, but then it felt plain, and I'm still trying to give the illusion of light. And so I created a lighter shade on one side. This arguably is my favorite stage of the painting process. So most of my lighting is done in overlay layers. You see, this is a lighting for the hair. This is in a normal layer. This is what I considered the main lighting. This is the main lighting. Comes something like that. and then this is another one of the main lights. And then from there, we just keep adding slowly by slowly, hence the importance of layers, and then another overlay layer. Now you see the difference between that and that is very, very subtle, but that secondary light, as in you have this light, this main light, this light, and this light coming from two different directions, but the transition between just plain blue and adding a little bit of, it was an orange on an overlay layer, and then I just subdued it a lot with the blending, with the blending brush. So the next thing is more highlights. After doing that, I decided to go ahead and work on the star-ish patterns on her body, and I did this on an add glow blend mode, and then I duplicated it again. But on the second layer, I added a sort of rim light, as you can see here, this kind of light. I added it to just as an extra. It wasn't in the reference whatsoever, but it's my painting, so I have creative freedom. And then after that, I signed it really. And the last thing I do before I finish a painting and adding, these are just extra details, so now that's the last step, is adding extra details, which is signing and just bringing the piece together with some sort of random shape. So that's basically it. But the last thing I do, which I forgot to add here, the last thing I do, step 7, like the secret sauce, is checking for values. So how I do that is, if I was to just give an example, you have your painting like this, you create a new layer, you take a plain black color, you take the fill tool, you fill it with the plain black color, and then you change the blend mode to color. You can do this in any program. You change the blend mode to color, and it gives you an idea as to how your values look like. So once you have this, you can then decide whether to adjust your painting or not in regards to the brightness and depth of certain elements in the painting. And my favorite detail in any painting I do is the highlights, to be honest. My favorite highlights to work on were these ones on the lips, these ones in the eyes, and I used a scatter brush to do the star patterns. And that is basically a brief breakdown of my rendering process. So I hope that you enjoy that, and I hope that it made sense in any way. And yeah, okay, so that was it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope that it gave you an idea as to what goes through my mind when I am rendering. Again, if you need any further explanation on whatever else, I'll be happy to answer any questions or make more in-depth videos, as I'd mentioned in the beginning. So feel free to like, subscribe, share, comment your thoughts. I'll be really happy to hear what you guys think. Feel free to suggest topics and ideas for future videos, or what you'd like to see me draw. I take a lot of drawing suggestions from Instagram, and I feel like I don't take enough suggestions from YouTube. So if you have any fan art or characters or whatever that you'd like to see me draw, I'll be happy to suggestions. And one last thing, I don't really talk about my shop much anymore because it's not done well at all, but I have a Redbubble store and I have a Gumroad store where my landscapes are, and on the Redbubble store there's an assortment of items, so you can check those out if you want. And if you live in Kenya, I will soon hopefully be starting an actual landscape and artwork print business, and it's in Kenya for now because of distribution costs and stuff like that, but that's besides the point. Feel free to suggest topics for future videos as well. I think I already mentioned that, but anyway, the next video after this is going to be like a mini vlog, which I'm doing today as well. So I hope that you enjoy that when it comes out. And yeah, that's it from me. All links in the description below. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you for all the comments on my last video, the 365 art plan video. I really appreciate your comments so much, and it really means the absolute world to me. And I'm very happy that I have such wonderful people to share this journey with. And so I'll see you in the next one, and that's it from me. Goodbye.